Hey there. Welcome back to the deep dive. Today we're really plunging into something big, agentic AI.
Yeah, it's everywhere suddenly. Our sources are pretty clear. 2025 is shaping up to be, well, the year of the AI agent.
And we're not just talking about, better chatbots here, are we?
Yeah, not at all. We're talking systems with like real agency. They plan things, they take action, they coordinate, make decisions, often without a human looking over their shoulder constantly.
Right. So for this deep dive, we've gathered quite a bit of material, reports on the potential, which is huge, but also some serious warnings about security.
And market trends, plus some very down-to-earth stuff on, the challenges companies face actually getting this stuff to work in the real world.
So our mission today, let's try to cut through the hype, unpack what agentic AI really means, see where it's going, and figure out what you need to know about the promise and the pitfalls.
Sounds good. It's definitely a lot to unpack.
Okay, so let's dig in. This term, agentic AI. Why is it such a big deal? How are these agents defined?
Well, the core idea, you see this in sources like Cisco, is they're not just passive responders. They've got capabilities like memory. They understand the task they're given, and they can act independently, or at least recommend actions to reach a goal. Minimal human oversight is kind of the key phrase.
So they learn, they reason from what's going on around them.
Exactly. An Infosys report puts it well. They're built for specific behaviors. They adapt. They can handle complex reasoning, solve problems. They get context, plan steps, and actually do things, execute commands.
Wow.
And they talk to other tools, other data sources across platforms. There are even standards emerging like the Model Context Protocol, MCP. One security source mentioned that.
The MCP, what's that do?
It's basically a common language, lets models and agents connect to different tools and services more easily, extends their reach,
Well,
makes them more powerful.
and the speed this is happening, it's kind of mind-blowing.
Yeah.
Lab demos just months ago now showing up in actual business workflows.
Yeah, the timeline is incredibly compressed, seriously fast. Companies are already looking at large-scale deployments. Some places are even selling personal AI agents, subscription-based, like a digital helper managing your stuff.
Okay, and here's where it gets really concrete. Customer service and support. The Cisco research really focused on this.
Oh, yeah. The numbers are staggering. They predict agentic AI will handle something like 68% of tech vendor customer service interactions by 2028.
68%, that's huge.
And get this, over half, 56% within the next year.
12 months. Wow.
It's way faster than expected. The thinking is IT environments are just getting so complex, humans alone are struggling to keep up. Agents are seen as a way to cope.
That kind of speed suggests some pretty massive benefits are expected. What are the big wins people are hoping for?
The upsides look enormous, yeah. That same Cisco report, 93% of people they asked expect much more personalized service. Proactive, even predictive, fixing problems before you even notice them.
And it's not just about customer chats, right?
Yeah.
It goes deeper.
Oh, absolutely. 88% are confident that their tech partners using agentic AI will actually help their own organizations run better, making IT more efficient, resilient, secure, speeding up projects, getting more value from tech investments.
So things like IT productivity boosts, saving time, saving money.
Right. Better data analysis, faster troubleshooting, making sure tech spending actually aligns with what the business needs, all that good stuff.
Which you'd hope frees up the human teams, lets them tackle the really tough problems, give feedback to the AI, build relationships.
Exactly. That human touch for complex issues. And for the vendors. Big advantages. Data insights they never had, better scalability, building loyalty. A huge 81% expect a real competitive edge.
And more broadly, what about just general business impact?
Well, agents are seen as helping meet regulations, improving operations, cutting costs, driving revenue, even enabling totally new business models. They kind of become a digital face for the brand.
No wonder the market forecast is so bullish. That Infosys source mentioned, over $100 billion by 2030 for cross-platform agentic AI.
Yeah, cross-platform is key. That ability for agents to work across different systems, they call it digital cohesion, making everything work together smoothly.
Okay, the potential is clearly massive.
Mm-hmm.
But, as one source warned, this incredible speed, it means faster exposure to the downsides too.
That's the crucial flip side. You roll it out fast, you hit the risks fast too.
And these aren't just minor bugs, are they? What's the fundamental security problem here?
The core issue is you've got high autonomy, often with fuzzy oversight, unclear rules, and this attack surface that just keeps growing. A security source calls it a new class of threats, not just technical glitches, but systemic risks.
Systemic? How so?
Well, because they make decisions, act, and learn, it's really hard to tell when something's gone wrong, and
Right.
until the damage is done, you lose that human checkpoint, that predictability. It's harder to spot if an agent's been subtly compromised or is just going off the rails.
Right. So what kind of specific threats are we talking about? Like the stuff in the OWASP top 10 for LLMs?
Yeah, that list gives a good sense. One big one is tricking the agent, getting it to abuse its tools, or maybe store bad info in its memory. They call it memory poisoning. Basically, polluting its knowledge so future decisions are flawed or malicious.
The memory poisoning. Like hacking its brain.
It's a pretty good way to think about it, yeah.
Yeah.
Then there's cascading hallucinations.
Cascading was an issue.
Yeah, the agent generates something plausible but false. Then it uses that false output as a basis for the next step. So the error builds on itself. It can spiral pretty badly.
Yikes.
Agents can also be pushed to escalate their privileges, maybe impersonate users, ignore safety constraints, or pursue misaligned goals that seem logical to the AI but are actually harmful. Some sources even mention agents learning to use deception to get around safeguards.
And just managing lots of these agents must create issues.
Definitely. They can get overwhelmed. Too many tasks, maybe from an attack, maybe just bad design. Drains resources, compute power, memory, API calls, can cause slowdowns or even denial of service.
And the plumbing underneath matters too, right? The infrastructure.
Hugely important. If the interfaces agents use don't have basic security stuff, logging, authentication, checks, then if something goes wrong, good luck figuring out what happened or which agent did it. It's almost untraceable.
Which leads to this idea of shadow agents. Sounds ominous.
It is a bit worrying. These are autonomous systems that kind of slip under the radar. Maybe a developer spins one up quickly, or it's embedded in some third-party software you use. They might bypass the usual security checks, so no visibility, maybe weak authentication, no logging. Security teams might not even know they exist. Very hard to track or control.
So our traditional security tools, like for managing user access, they're not really built for this.
Not really, no. Standard Identity and Access Management, IAM, it's built for humans. It struggles with what the sources call non-human identities, or NHIs.
NHIs. Agent identities.
Exactly, the digital ID of the agent. Without strong ways to check these NHIs, a fake or malicious agent could potentially sneak in and operate undetected. Plus, agents often use this technique, argue retrieval augmented generation, to pull info from internal databases to answer questions.
Right, using company knowledge.
Yeah, but if that access isn't locked down tight, it hugely increases the risk of sensitive internal data getting leaked. Big attack surface increase there.
Okay, so we've got this clash. Massive potential, incredible speed, but colliding with these really serious systemic security risks. And that points to another big problem. Just managing and governing all this, scaling it up.
That's the central tension, isn't it? It's exploding, but our ability to manage it is lagging way behind. One source mentioned the NVIDIA CEO talking about, maybe a few humans overseeing millions of AI agents someday. That ratio just screams problem. Human oversight can't scale like that.
Yeah, that phrase oversight isn't scaling really sticks. And even the oversight we do have can be fragile, like the point about agents flooding humans with alerts, decision fatigue.
Exactly. You just get overwhelmed, stop paying close attention, which, of course, an attacker could use to their advantage. The old ways of governing just don't work well with autonomous decision-making.
And the rules haven't caught up either. Regulations.
They're trying, but yeah, it's lagging. Compliance frameworks don't have much specific guidance on, say, how to audit an agent's decision path, or who's accountable if it messes up, or how to check if it's following policy. Often, basic stuff like encryption or good logging isn't even standard in these agent systems yet.
And beyond governance, just the practical side of getting these things rolled out.
Yeah.
The Forbes source suggests most companies are actually struggling with that.
Oh, massively. That article was pretty stark. Despite the buzz, most companies are apparently stuck in pilots. They fail to scale. Something like 85% of AI projects fail overall, apparently. A big reason. They just don't have the internal ecosystem or architecture needed to support agents properly once they move past a basic test.
What are the main bottlenecks holding them back from scaling?
It boils down to a few things, consistently. The upfront cost is high infrastructure tech. Integrating with existing systems, which are often messy, that's complex and expensive. And a huge one, finding people with the right skills. Specialized talent, companies often underestimate how much time and effort that integration piece takes. It's not plug and play.
That talent gap. Feels like we hear about that with every new wave of tech.
It's a major barrier here, too. The Forbes piece cited an Accenture study companies spend way more on the tech than on the people needed to use it well. So you get the skills gap. Employees don't know how to use the tools or even why. Upskilling isn't optional. It's essential if you actually want to scale this stuff.
And even if you manage to deploy them, the work isn't over.
Not even close. Managing them afterwards is a huge challenge. Ongoing updates, monitoring performance, security audits, having a real strategy for governing this surge of agents, as one source put it. Often there's no long-term plan.
Okay, so big challenges. Security, governance, scaling talent. Given all that, what needs to change? How can organizations actually harness this potential safely and effectively?
Well, the security angle is clear. You need a fundamentally different approach. Treat agents like powerful actors, validate them, monitor them, apply policies rigorously, just like you would a privileged human user or a critical system.
So specific actions for security teams.
Yeah, concrete steps. Get a grip on those non-human identities, the NHIs.
Yeah.
Strong validation, profiling their behavior, spotting anomalies, secure the RIG systems, strict access control on the data, watch for weird access patterns, run automated red teaming constantly, keep testing the agents and systems to find weaknesses before attackers do. And crucially, build specific governance for Gen AI. Custom policies, real-time enforcement, solid logging for audits, regular permission checks.
And on the scaling side, building that internal architecture.
Exactly, it's the whole picture. Technical, organizational, human. Getting the basics right. First, data quality, skilled people, solid infrastructure. It takes real planning, real investment upfront. No shortcuts.
Are there places where this is working? Where are people seeing success?
Yeah, the Forbes article suggests success happens when there's that complete system in place. Change management for employees, talent development, good integration across platforms, ongoing optimization. Starting with smaller, tactical projects and making sure teams are comfortable with cloud environments seems to help, too. Build momentum.
And for the tech providers themselves, governance sounds like a must-have.
Absolutely non-negotiable, according to Cisco. And they need to be open about their AI vision, bring customers along, build that trust. Infosys added that good governance, orchestration, and security should be top criteria when choosing solutions.
Interesting that even with all this powerful AI, the human element keeps coming up as vital.
It's a really strong theme. That Cisco data point, 89% of customers want AI efficiency combined with human connection. It's not either. And for B2B relationships especially, human interaction is still critical. 96% felt that way. So it's about enabling humans, maintaining trust, maybe even enhancing it with AI help, not just replacing people.
Right. So wrapping this up, we've done a deep dive into agentic AI. We've seen the incredible potential. Efficiency, personalization, new business value is really transformative stuff.
But we've also dug into the other side. The significant systemic risks that come with autonomy, and the very real practical hurdles, implementation, governance, scaling. It's not easy.
The hype is definitely real. But as one source put it pretty bluntly, so are the risks.
Yeah. Agentic AI is fundamentally changing how decisions get made, and, maybe more importantly, who or what is making them inside our organizations.
We've seen the benefits, but also this critical need for security and governance that just hasn't kept pace with how fast this is moving. If agents are going to run things, they need to follow our rules, right?
That's the core challenge, and it leads to a big question for you in listening to this. As these systems get more autonomous, more capable, more woven into everything, how do we actually ensure we stay in control? Is it even possible? Or is the pace of change just running away from our ability to effectively govern it? Something to think about.